You're watching Kenosha Community Media.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off this morning by thanking you all for joining us, coming out in the slightly dreary day. Hopefully nobody got too wet on their way in. We are very excited about this morning and the wonderful volunteers and community leaders and students that we will be able to recognize a little bit later on. And we're also very excited to have the chance to celebrate the great program year that we had in 2013-2014. To start our morning off, I'm going to introduce the Kenosha Literacy Council's President, Board of Directors President, Vince Incandela.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for clapping. I was really hoping you were going to do that. Yes, just to echo some of Cheryl's words, thank you for being here this morning. Well, what a beautiful venue, isn't it? Creates a lot of energy for a Saturday morning. But before I mention a couple people today, I just want to give you just a couple of numbers, 3 numbers that when Cheryl and I go out and visit organizations and associations, businesses, we talk about 3 numbers: 15,639. And what that represents, and I want you to really listen to this, what that represents is 15,000 volunteer hours from our tutors. 15,000 volunteer hours over the course of the year. 600 is 600 students that have walked through the doors of the Kenosha Literacy Council over the course of the year from 39 different countries. So when we go out and talk to the other associations and organizations and businesses, they sit back in their chair and they really sometimes have a hard time even comprehending that. So all of our tutors that are here today, that have volunteered those hours, we need to recognize you and acknowledge you. Thank you very much. Our students as well, you're going to hear from them later on in the program. And again, like we said, from 39 different countries. Our board of directors, which I have the honor and privilege to lead this past year. If you could just stand up, the board members that are here with us this morning. And thank you. Would you please stay standing? Stay standing for just a minute. And the reason that I want you to is because this week, Cheryl and I received an email from the president of another board of an association in Kenosha. And they asked us if we could get together with them. And the reason is they said, we would really like to partner with your organization to, again, create something really robust for the Kenosha community. And the reason we want to do that is because our board has recognized your board as, quote, a booming organization. Thank you. Thank you for that. And lastly, Cheryl, our executive director, Cassie, our program coordinator, for what they do during the course of the year to recognize that. They work tirelessly throughout the year to just continue to do whatever that they can do to make the Kenosha Literacy Council a well-respected organization in Kenosha, of which it is. So thank you. Have a great time this morning. Enjoy the program.
Thank you, Vince. Before we move on to what I'm sure is going to be a delicious breakfast, I want to take the opportunity just to talk a little bit about our program year. And so hopefully everyone has a copy of the 2013-2014 annual report. You'll notice that we had We had an interesting time with our electronic equipment, so the printing isn't as fabulous as it could be, but we're a nonprofit, so we want to still put them to good use. So bear with us. But really, it's been a phenomenal year. We've been able to really increase exposure in the community. We've been able to reach out to businesses. We've been able to reach out to other community organizations. We've been able to grow programs. And so it's really just been a great year. We've had some fabulous fundraisers. We've worked with Miss Kenosha. And we were able to present at the National Adult Literacy Conference in Washington, D.C. this year. And hopefully you've all seen the new and improved Literacy Council website that was released this year as well. If not, make sure you check it out when you leave today. Hopefully everyone who's with us this morning is a friend of the Literacy Council and you know our mission well. But the Literacy Council was established in 1965, and we're a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving and promoting English literacy education to adults with the assistance of trained volunteers. We believe wholeheartedly that literacy is a fundamental ingredient in building strong families, a good economy, and a healthy community. Adults need to know how to read, write, and speak in English so that they can participate in the workforce and earn wages that support their families and their communities. And you're going to see that impact when you hear from some of our students later on today. Are Maria and Susanna here? They're not. They'll be here later, and you'll have the opportunity to talk with them. But Maria and Susanna, shared this really wonderful quote as part of the story that they shared at the spelling bee, and I just think it's so impactful, so I want to take a moment to read it for you. Before in our lives, we were always told, you can't do it, and you're not good enough. When we walked into the Literacy Council, it was the opposite. We heard for the first time, you can do it. When we left our first class, we felt happy. We felt comfortable there. Before we studied at the KLC, we felt scared to talk to people, but now we feel confident talking at our son's schools and at the stores. Now we stand up for ourselves. It's like we have wings. And I think that's just so important to hear it from the students' words and how the things that we do are really changing their lives for the better. So what's been happening? Vince mentioned some numbers, and we get to update them today for the new year. So Vince, you got new numbers to learn. It's 16,000. In the 2013-14 program year, we had 16,037 hours of instruction. Fabulous. We taught 549 learners from 39 different countries with the help of 212 volunteers. So it's a booming place. There's a lot happening at the Literacy Council all throughout the year. Just what does a typical learner look like? We know that 66% of our students are female and 34% of our students are male. We know that 81% of our students are ELL. That means they're English language learners. They're here from another country to learn English. And 19% of our students are ABE. That stands for Adult Basic Education. Those are for folks that are born in America and improving their reading and writing skills with us, and hopefully going on to earn their GED. We also know that about 67% of our students are Hispanic. I think what's even better than all of that is, what do we do with these 549 students? So what? We have 549 students, and they were with us for 16,000 hours. What does that all really mean to the student? We know, because of our standardized testing procedure, that 62% of the students that are with us for at least 60 hours of instruction advance at least one educational level. So I think that's phenomenal. We have a concrete way to show all of you, show the community and our funders that our students are making progress and they're reaching their goals. We know that 37% of learners who participated at KLC for more than 6 months were able to find employment, improve their employment situation, or enroll in programs at the technical college. So again, fabulous things are happening in our students' lives. We also know that 97% of the students who participate in the citizenship class go on and are prepared for their citizenship exam. Great things. We'd like to share with you just a little bit about some of our classes and programs for some of you who may not be as familiar. And so one of the classes that I think you'll hear a lot about today, because many of the students here with us this morning participate in this program, and both of the women that we're going to recognize as Learners of the Year participated in this program. It's our ELL Civics class, and we are very fortunate to have the ELL Civics instructor with us this morning. She's also our program coordinator, Cassie Christensen. So she's going to come up and share with you just a little bit about her class and the things that they learn. And she's not going to trip on the stairs. If you come up to the stage today, be mindful of the stairs, please.
Good morning, everybody. As Cheryl said, I am the program coordinator, but I am also the ELL Civics instructor. And this class is something that I am very, very proud of and very happy that we have the ability to offer it at the Kenosha Literacy Council. As she said, many of the students, the 2 learners that we are awarding today, have gone through the class. And what that means is that they have completed a 38-week class that entails the public school system, the banking and finance system, healthcare, using the library, and housing and government. So with these classes, the students do a lot of experiential learning. They're going on many field trips into the community and learning the English that is very specific to these systems that we have in the United States. As the students know, and maybe other people don't know, we don't have a book for this class. So there's no book that the students purchase, because what we want to do is use real materials from the community and have the most updated materials. So every year, the class is changing, because as we all know, things change in our systems. So we have to have the most current things. So with that being said, I think that it is an amazing class and an amazing way for students to learn about the community and be more active.
Teachable moment. The students in their housing unit learn about tornado drills and what to do in the case of severe weather.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Cassie. We have many other types of classes at the Literacy Council, and we've seen the participation in these classes grow over the past years. So what was once strictly one-on-one tutoring evolved to be one-on-one tutoring and drop-in tutoring, and now it's evolved into many more classes, and the students have the opportunity to choose classes and workshops that specifically interest them, and we see a lot of great participation in those classes. Just some examples of the classes the students might be in. We have a wonderful book club. Who here has been to one of our book discussions? I want to see lots of hands. So in the book club, the students take regular novels that you and I would read for our own personal book clubs. For example, they read I Am Malala this year and The Help. They just finished reading Fahrenheit 451. So these are ABE and ELL learners, folks, reading Fahrenheit 451. And then they prepare for a community-wide book discussion. So they read the book, they understand the book, and then they invite community members in, and we have a discussion based on the book. It's really a phenomenal experience. We also have literacy at work sessions where students are learning about online job searches and they're creating resumes. We have workshops that focus on computer skills. We have conversation classes. We have one of our volunteers here who leads the conversation classes. Ma'am Biancalana wants to give a little wave. She would normally be getting ready to teach her Saturday morning conversation right now. So in the conversation classes, advanced ELL students get together to practice speaking and listening in English. For a lot of our students, the only opportunity they have to practice their English is when they come to class with us at the Literacy Council. So those conversation classes are really important to helping them learn to speak English. We also have beginning English classes. We have women in focus sessions which are specifically for female tutors and students, and we focus on topics that pertain to them. So maybe we might be talking about school and parent-teacher conferences, we might be talking about women's health concerns, we might be talking about public safety. We had a wonderful presentation where somebody came in and taught us some fun self-defense things. So many, many different things, writing classes. Those classes are really popular with our students. We also have a citizenship program that I think most of you are probably familiar with. We have typically 4 classes a year. It's an 8-week class where the students are learning all that they need to know for the citizenship test that they will go and take, so for the naturalization process. And we have at least one of the teachers with us this morning, Susan. And then we also have several new citizens with us this morning too, and so we'll see them a little bit later. Going on to the tutoring programs, I think this is what most of you are aware of. The Literacy Council does. Our tutoring programs are wonderful because they specifically meet the individual needs of each learner. So we have drop-in tutoring that happens at the Literacy Council, and we also have a one-on-one tutoring program where folks meet in the community and report back to us on a regular basis. Last year, there were 8,400 hours of tutoring instruction that volunteers did at the Literacy Council, so great things. Most all of those classes and all of that tutoring is done by volunteers. Last year we had 212 volunteers who gave 7,500 hours of their time. And really the heart of the Literacy Council, we absolutely would not be able to do what we do without them. If we figured out how much kind of that is worth monetarily, it would be over $175,000 if we were paying them as teachers. So definitely could not do what we do without our volunteers. So the volunteers serve as tutors, they serve as class instructors, they serve as our board of directors. All of the volunteers who become tutors go through a training process, and then they have in-services throughout the year as well. So they give more of their time. But I just want to take a moment to make sure we recognize all of the tutors. So if you're a volunteer with the Literacy Council, if you could stand up. Look at you all. Yay. If we could just give them a round of applause. And please feel free to talk to these folks later. I know that they have many wonderful stories that they'll love to share with you. So if you're interested in learning what it might be like to be a volunteer, make sure to take some time to talk with one of them. Going on to talk about our community partners, as I mentioned, it was a great year for us last year. We were able to kind of establish some new partnerships and grow partnerships that we already had. Our fundraisers were phenomenal, so our Laps for Literacy and our Spelling Bee fundraisers were both very successful last year, with our highest number of attendees for both of those events, so we're excited for that. We were able to have a wonderful collaboration with Ms. Kenosha that you're going to hear about a little bit later on. So just really some great things happening. We worked with the Kenosha Public Museum on an immigrant project. We've done some things with the public library and, of course, with the school district. So lots of things happening. You can take a look and see who some of our funders are. A lot of our funding, and we'll see that on the next slide, comes from grants and contributions. So you can see a little bit about where some of that comes from. So you can see last year, about 69% of our budget came from grants, and then about 17% came from fundraising, 10% came from contributions, and 4% from other wonderful things. And how that money was spent, the majority of it, 75%, was spent on programming. So that's wonderful that we can show that the majority of the money that our organization brings in goes directly back to our programs. 21% of it went to administration, and 4% of it went to fundraising. And so just another thank you again to everyone who has worked to help raise funds for the Literacy Council or who has donated themselves. Thank you. You're going to see later on today how that really is changing lives. So hopefully you all are excited as I am about the great year that we had last year and going into our new program year this year. We're off to a fantastic start already. So Thank you all for listening through all of that. We are going to get started with our brunch, and so I'm thinking the staff from the Women's Club will kind of let you know when it's your table's turn. So please feel free to enjoy a wonderful brunch and chat about some of the programs and things that we just talked about and get to know the volunteers and students who are sitting with you. Thank you all.
Becoming a Kenosha Literacy Council student is a wonderful experience. Here we feel the warmth of a big family, with an amazing staff and tutors. Volunteers share their time and knowledge to teach us how to read, speak, and write in English.
Every student that you teach is a challenge because there is not one student that's like the other. They're either from different countries or they have different problems, different backgrounds.
It's so hard to talk to people and communicate with them. Some people here know Arabic, but they try to make themselves like they don't understand me. But it's hard to go with yourself to the store, to the gas station even. You can't talk to the people. You feel like I want to talk, but there's something.
I come here new, I don't understand nothing.
Came to this country and I didn't speak any English and had a very difficult time to communicate with anyone.
In the past, when I was younger, I missed school. You know, back then, you know, you had to work on the farms and you had to wouldn't be in school. You know, I missed a lot of my basics. I said, well, I want to improve and I want to, you know, go to school and get a little more education where I can, you know, better myself in that way, you know. Find a job, yeah. Because every time I look for them, they want to, it won't complete when they say you don't have your GED, you know, or your high school diploma, and it stops there.
I didn't know any English at all, and it was hard to communicate. Now it's much better because I learned a lot. It helps a lot because I don't need a translator when I go to the hospital or when I go to the store, to the bank. I don't need anybody to help me with my English because now I understand everything, almost everything.
I'm very happy because I can talk, I can speak, I can write.
Preparing myself to go to Gateway and studying the spring semester.
Oh, I got a wonderful tutor. She's real fun, you know. She said, I'm looking forward to seeing you, you know, coming together with, you know, every Tuesday I come here, you know, every Tuesday.
I am here because I want to learn English, and here is a good place I can do it because they offering good programs, and also it's free.
Well, let's put it this way. I would miss it very much if I didn't come. And it's probably the only place that I come that I don't have to think, oh, I don't know if I want to go there today. But I always want to come. I always want to come. So I really enjoy the students. The students are because you can help them. And they're so grateful and they're so enthusiastic.
They can't make a statement in this community or in the world without education. And if I, after working for 42 years, if I can give some of my knowledge, pass it forward, then I've done what I'm supposed to do. I don't have the money to give them, but I do have some skills to give them. And yeah, and they keep me coming back. It's a two-way street because it gives me purpose, and they share stories, and at the end we become almost like a family. It's a closeness.
There's one thing I always tell people when they ask about it. Whenever you think that, well, I don't know if I have enough time. The very first time I signed up, they said, do you have an hour a week that you could give to help somebody learn how to read? I thought, well, I must have an hour a week, you know. And I ended up tutoring, as I said, the one-on-one, 2 nights a week, coming on Saturdays. And then you think, what was I doing before that was so important that I didn't have time? You know, you do have time, and it's time that is in fulfilling, enriching, exciting. You form relationships that'll be part of your life for the rest of your life, and that will be precious and dear to you. And you will be a part of something that is very meaningful, and that will change not only their lives, but yours and the whole communities for the better. So yes, I would encourage every adult that can read and you know, and if they can't, come too, because we'll help you learn.
And the first thing I'd like to do, we talked before we started eating about, you know, all the numbers, all the great things that we're doing. We have, you know, lots of student success stories, and none of that could happen without people. And we at the Literacy Council have a pretty fantastic group of people. And so I want to make sure that we take the time to recognize those people. We've recognized the volunteers, and you hopefully have got the chance to talk to some of them, but we also have a great group of staff and volunteers that kind of make tutoring and programs happen every day. And so I want to take time to just recognize them. If your name is Megan, or Dorothy, or Kathy, or Cassie, please join me on the stage. So some of you may know Megan is our literacy advocate. It's a shared position that we have with the Urban Outreach Center, and she helps our students connect with community resources. She helps them transition to programs at Gateway. She helps them find jobs, so she's a busy, busy person. Whenever someone comes in with a question, where can I go for this? How do I do this? We say, oh, ask Megan. Oh, ask Megan. Megan will know. Megan can help you. And then she's like, I don't know. But she always finds the answer. So we're very glad to have Megan and all of her expertise. So just a little thank you for her. And who doesn't know Dorothy Jansen? Dorothy is probably our longest standing volunteer tutor. She helps coordinate our drop-in tutoring program, which happens at the Literacy Council 4 days a week when she's not breaking bones. We're very happy that she's fully recovered. We missed her for a couple months this summer. But she helps run our drop-in tutoring program, so she connects tutors and students, and she also does the assessment for new students who are coming in. So she's another very busy lady, and definitely a face of the Literacy Council, someone who is well known in the community as the Literacy Council lady. So thank you, Dorothy. And Kathy Carr is another volunteer coordinator, and she is currently the kind of driving force behind our book club. So all of those projects that I talked about, they started, they've done other book clubs in the past, but really this past year they've been right on it. They did They did Poe for The Big Read, and they did I Am Malala, they did The Help, and then Fahrenheit 451. So she's had a busy time on her hands. And she also teaches a beginning English class. So she's always busy coming up with new creative ideas, and we're very lucky to have her with us. So thank you, Kathy. And then Cassie, she just puts out all my fires. When I come and say, oh, this didn't go right, or oh, what about this? Oh, no problem. She is our program coordinator, so she's the first face that all of our students see. She does their intakes and their tests and all of that in the beginning. And she also is the ELL civics instructor, so she leads that great program that she talked about earlier. A very, very important part of the Literacy Council, and we couldn't do all of the amazing things that we do without all of the time and energy and enthusiasm she gives to us. So thank you so much, Cassie. All right. Thank you, ladies. Wait, did we get a picture? Wait. Freeze. Did we take a picture? Oh, okay. Well, let's take a nice one. Oh, I wasn't smiling. Jeez. Please be careful on the side. I need you all. I don't have time for any of you to be hurt. All right. We are going to start our awards ceremony part of the morning with our Literacy Leader Awards. And each year for the past several years, the Board of Directors has chosen two Literacy Leader Awards. The first one is an organization and the other is an individual. So we're going to start off with our Organizational Leader of Literacy Award, which this year is being awarded to the Miss Kenosha Scholarship Pageant. And I'll ask Miss Kenosha Tori to come and join us. And she can have a minute to say a few words. But it's been wonderful. Hopefully you've seen Miss Kenosha at our events this year. She's attended all of our major fundraising events. She planned a family literacy night for our students and tutors, which was phenomenal. And she's just been really involved in the community, promoting literacy for children through adults, and it's been wonderful to kind of have the community abuzz talking about literacy. So we're very proud to recognize you today. And if you go.
All right, I'd like to first and foremost just say thank you. I'm so honored to be accepting this on behalf of the scholarship pageant. It means a lot to me as well as the whole organization, and it's a huge thing that's never been done before. So we were very excited when we got the news. So I would just like to thank you, and I definitely wouldn't be able to do half the things I would without having you and your support behind me. I've never ran a 5K or been in a spelling bee or hosted a family literacy night, so I was 0 for 3 coming into this. So it really means a lot to me, and I know that making a difference as the community is what you guys are all about, and being able to partner up and continue that with such a great organization has meant the world to me. So I just want to thank you, and I hope that we can keep our dynamic duo even without a crown. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We take a lot of pictures at the Literacy Council, if you're not aware already. All right. This year, the Kenosha Literacy Council Board of Directors chose their individual literacy leader was somebody they really wanted to recognize for the time that she has given as a volunteer, as a member of the Board of Directors, and all that she's done in the community to promote literacy and help us build collaborations. So this year's Leader of Literacy Award is going to Kathy Cole. Very good.
Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you to the board. I really feel that this honor belongs to all of the students here. 16,000 hours of practice and bettering your reading and writing skills. I hear you present at at the spelling bee and at the winter celebration, and I'm so proud of all of you. It's not easy, it's hard, and yet you do 16,000 hours of work with the help of almost 600 tutors. So I always know that the money we donate and the time that we give to the Literacy Council is so well spent. You do an awesome job, so thanks to all of you.
Did we get the okay? Oh. One more. Who did the bunny? Thank you. All right. So one more round of applause for our literacy leaders. The next two awards are called Distinguished Service Awards, and they go to volunteers for the years of service that they've given to the Literacy Council. And you can see in your program there are actually several awards being awarded this year. We have two of them with us today. Maybe we only have one of them with us. I think we do. All right, so we are going to recognize Kathy Carr this morning for 15 years of service to the Literacy Council. We already sung Kathy's praises. She's amazing and wonderful, and we are very thankful that we've had her with us for 15 great years. The next part always gets a little fun because we're going to ask a group of people to come up on stage. These are the group of volunteers that have given 100 hours or more. And I want to stress the or more part because some of them have given several hundreds of hours. And remember that this is just for this year. So they've literally given hundreds of hours of their time just this year. And so we want to be sure to take time to recognize them. I'm going to ask Vince to help. Hopefully they should all be in order. So if you just want to come up as you get called, and we'll be able to get your certificates, and we'll have everybody stay up here if you don't mind. The first one is Ellen Albrecht. Next is Bob Bernhardt. Anne Biancalana. Kathy Carr. She's getting good exercise this morning, Kathy is. Is Marion here? Linda Hartung. Is Linda here with us? Dorothy Jansen. Evelyn Lepp. Jeff Perry. Susan Remsen. Barb Schroeder. I think that's everyone who's with us this morning. So if we could give them a really big round of applause for their 100+ hours. I know that you're just waiting to go home and hang these on your refrigerators for your whole family to see. You should be very proud of your accomplishment. Okay, and there might be a couple that I thought were coming that didn't. right. We're moving right along this morning. We're going to have plenty of time for cake. This is wonderful. All right. Our next awards go to our Tutor of the Year. We have 2 Tutor of the Year awards that we give out. One is for our drop-in tutoring program, and the other is an award that we call the Pearl Seavitt Award. Many of you know that Pearl was a very influential member of the Literacy Council for quite some time and was a great leader in the Literacy Council and helping it become more established and helping it grow. And so we have an award in her honor. But we're going to start with our drop-in Tutor of the Year. And that award goes to Jill Blakely in recognition of her enthusiasm and dedication to the Literacy Council's tutoring program. And I have to tell you, I let her know. The other volunteer didn't know before today that she was being recognized, but I let Jill know. She said, "Why did you do that?" So we did that because of the enthusiasm. So Jill is just wonderful at volunteering to help with things. She came and spoke with Cassie's civics class, which was fabulous, and the students talk about it a lot. And she's always at special events and helping with field trips and special projects and things like that. And so, we're just really happy to have her energy and enthusiasm at the Literacy Council. So congratulations, Jill, and thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
Very much. Thank you. Oh, wait, we need to have a picture.
You know the drill. I know. I should by now, right? Thank you.
And our Pearl Seavitt Award this year goes to a longtime volunteer. She's been a volunteer for about 12 years. She volunteers in our drop-in tutoring program, and she just recently started teaching some of our citizenship classes. She is wonderful. She loves working with the students. The students love working with her, and she's just a great example to the other tutors and is always willing to help out when it's needed. And so we would like to honor Ellen Albrecht this morning with our Pearl Seavitt Award. Our next awards are very special ones, and I might ask if Senator Wirch would mind coming up to the stage and helping us award these ones. And we have several new citizens with us this morning. These are students who have actually been with the Literacy Council since they first came to the United States, so we're very invested in their story. They came here over 5 years ago now, but from a refugee camp in Thailand. They are from Burma originally. When they came to the Literacy Council, it was their very first days in America. They got off the plane. The next day they were at the Literacy Council signing up for English classes. They didn't know any English then, and I mean any English. And since that time, they've learned English. They have children who are doing very well in school. They have jobs. They're involved in classes at Gateway. And they've just recently gone through the citizenship process and gotten their citizenship. And I heard from a little bird that they all just this last week registered to vote as well. So they're ready for the upcoming election. Their story is really, I think, what we all think about, and it's just amazing that people can come to our country and kind of start a new life and have all of the opportunity and wonderful things that America offers. And so we're very excited to recognize them for becoming citizens today. We have Sarah Thee. So Sarah, want to come on up? Or maybe just have them. We can have them all stand, I think. We also have Rambo Thien. Rambo. Rambo. Mm-hmm. We have Bui Pa Win. I think the baby's blanket adds to it. Tiwi. That's it. All right. They also have some other members of the family who are working towards their citizenship, and so hopefully we'll be able to recognize them in the next couple of years. So our new citizens this morning. We're going to do Maya's first. Okay. All right, on to the main event. All of those were wonderful and so important, but I know that you're all just waiting to hear from our learners of the year, and they're going to share their stories with you this morning. So the first person that we're going to recognize is our adult literacy learner of the year. So we have this award each year, and it's to recognize somebody who is studying in English to get their GED. And we actually have a former award recipient in the room with us today, Chris. If you were with us a couple of years ago, you recognize that he received this award. But this year's award winner is Maya. So we're going to ask Maya to come up and share her story with us. Do you want to use this or just... I need the paper. Oh.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maya. I'm from Syria. I've been in the United States for 2.5 years. I moved here to come live with my fiance. When I came, I wanted to learn English so I could continue my education. In Syria, school is very hard. You need to study a lot to graduate. But I loved school and being with my friends. My love for school helped me keep going once I moved to the US. The plan was to come to the US after I graduated, but my fiance convinced me to move and get my GED here instead. When I got here, I regret it. It was harder to get my GED than I thought because of my age and my English. My family told me English is easy. I thought I could wake up one morning and just know English and get my GED, but that wasn't true. Gateway turned me away because I was too young. That's when I found the Kenosha Literacy Council and started English classes. I finally felt that I was on my way. I started one year at the Literacy Council and 1 year at Gateway. My family in Syria kept asking me, when will you finish? They thought it was easier than what it was, and that I wasn't taking it serious. While I was studying English in class, I was studying for my GED at home. I was so mad when I knew my friends in Syria had already graduated from high school and I was still learning English. I was so jealous. Eventually, I was ready for the test. The social study part was the hardest. I thought the English part would have been, but I passed it right away. The stories were much more interesting in English than social study. After two years of studying, I'm proud to say I have my GED. I want to move forward and go to college in the US. Now my friends in Syria are jealous of me because I have my GED diploma in English. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Maya, you are just such an inspiration because you came in with such enthusiasm, and she was ready to go, she was ready to learn, and she wasn't going to let anything stop her or let anything get in her way. So we're just so proud that she just recently passed that social studies test last week or the week before, so it's brand new. So another great big congratulations to Maya for all of her hard work. I know you're hoping to be on to college soon, so I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. All right. Our next Learner of the Year award is called the English Language Learner of the Year, and this goes to a student who is working on learning English. And this year's award is being given to Mariana Hernandez. So Mariana can come join us. She is going to share a little bit about her story. And again, Mariana, you are an inspiration. This woman has children at home. She works crazy, crazy hours, and she still makes sure that she makes learning English a priority. When she's going to tell you in a little bit, when she came to the Literacy Council 3 years ago, she didn't know any English, and she's getting up and speaking with all of you today. So it's just so wonderful to see how she's grown and how much confidence she has in speaking English now. So, I'm gonna put it here, I think.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariana. I'm from Mexico. I like to live in this country and know about the culture. When I came here 3 years ago, I didn't speak any English. I walked to my son's school. It was Head Start Cesar Chavez. They knew about the Literacy Council. A friend invited me to the civics class. I caught the bus for my first job in Kenosha. I was a bus person in a restaurant. I was very shy because I couldn't understand the people. When the people talked to me, I was really nervous, like this moment. When I learned more English, I took KLC Literacy at Work class. I was able to get a better job. I started working at McDonald's. I was a cook. Now I train new workers. Thank you. I feel good. Now I try to work. It is full-time in the morning. Sometimes my schedule is from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. After work, I need to prepare dinner for my children before I go to school in the evening. It is hard life, but I want to be an example to my children. I am really grateful to the Literacy Council because they give me the tools to be a better woman. Thank you.
Oh, no, take another one. There we go. All right. Now it's time for cake. I think another round of applause for all of our amazing students and volunteers and community members. And I hope that everyone who is here with us this morning can tell from the stories that you heard that you leave here knowing that everything you do to support the Literacy Council, whether it be volunteering your time, whether it be donating money, whether it be going into the community and talking about us, everything that you do is helping to change people's lives for the better. And so just keep that in mind when you leave this morning, and hopefully that inspires you to continue to promote the Literacy Council in the community and help us in any way that you can, because we're doing great things. So let's enjoy some cake and have fun for the next little while.